I grew up actually in an alcoholic home and started using alcohol when I was about 12 years old. Maintained pretty good until about 23, and then I discovered methamphetamine.
I can see your face.
We're all tired and we work and we have kids, and so it's a lot of planning, but when the day comes, it makes me so happy, because this is what we all fight for, you know, seeing that there is hope after addiction, you know, and that we can all heal.
I went to the needle exchange to get syringes, and they did an intervention on me, and they took me to Good Samaritan Hospital, and the doctor said, if you don't stop doing drugs, you're going to lose your arms. And I went, where would I lose my arms? And he said, if you don't stop doing drugs, we will amputate your arms. And I said to that doctor, and I might cry, I said, if you cut off my arms, how will I shoot my dope? And the doctor gave me such an incredulous look that he just looked at me, and I felt that he knew that I was on my way to being a dying person. And I went home and I took my shoes off, and for the next week I tried to make my toes smart enough to hold a syringe so that when they cut off my arms, I would be okay, and I could still shoot my dope. And my friend Louise Wedge and I were talking, and we said, what is National Recovery Month? And we did a little bit of investigating on what is National Recovery Month, and all of a sudden we're going, let's do something. And she and I, our addictions had taken us under the bridge a couple of times, and we were going to stand on the bridge and just hold hands at sunrise and just give glory to God that we were no longer those lonely people under the bridge. And pretty soon we had some friends, and we went on the Interstate 5 bridge with 200 people and a long pink ribbon to hold between us. And we had, that year we had 200 people in the Interstate 5 bridge. The Oregon Department of Transportation said, you want to put drug addicts and alcoholics on the bridge? Okay, you can have the bridge at 6 a.m. So the first year we were out there at 6 a.m. And then the next year they said, oh, you acted pretty nicely, and they gave it to us, and we were out there at 10, and we had about 500 people the next year. And over the years, we've had 8 Hands Across the Bridges, and over the years we have, this year we had 2,016 people on the bridge. In 2009, we had 150 volunteers that worked to bring Hands Across the Bridge 2009 to our community. These are people that didn't get paid. These are people that just did it because they wanted to. We offer hope, and we offer truth, and we come out in September and we tell our stories so that people can understand people do change, people can change, and people do change.
For 35 years I was Zodia. I totally lost myself, my own identity. I became a totally different person. Between using drugs and alcohol, I became somewhat of an animal, you might say. Okay, I remember my mother asking me one time when I was walking the streets and working as a hooker if I was afraid, wasn't I afraid that I might run into a maniac? And I looked her straight in the eye and I said to her, Mother, I am the maniac. Recovery is no small feat. It is not. It's a wonderful thing. And you can't really do it by yourself. You've got to have help. And we're always looking for help. Out there, you will see people that you thought were dead. It's been so long since you've seen them because they've been clean and sober and gotten totally away from where they used to be. And they come from Seattle, they come from Eugene, they come from all types of places just to be there for that day. And the children, addiction affects them way more than we, the addict, realize until later, once we get clean and sober and look back, we realize, because we think we're doing a good job for our kids as long as we give them everything they want, put them in a room and let them have all the toys they want, all the Burger King they can eat, that they're just fine. But what they really want is us. And we don't take that time with them. We're locked in another room getting loaded or out hustling. And to see those children with their parents out at Hands Across the Bridge, and they will tell you quick, my daddy's got 10 years clean, my daddy's got 3 years clean. They are real proud of that. They know what it means to be clean and sober. Well, addiction touches everybody in some way or another. If it wasn't for Hands Across the Bridge, a lot of people wouldn't even know about it. Or it would be a shame to talk about it. We took the stigma away, the shame. It used to be that once you went into recovery, you didn't want anybody to know that you were an addict, that you used drugs in the past, or that you were an alcoholic in the past. And you didn't want to be associated with it in any way. But how do you help people if you can't tell them who you are? The mission was, from the beginning, to go on the bridge every year. This is how it started. We were going to go up there and say the Serenity Prayer. Well, we can never do that because we have the boats that come and honk, and that's when we're supposed to do the Serenity Prayer. Or everybody just start yelling and jumping up and down and forget to pray. So now we do the Serenity Prayer before we go on the bridge.
My name is Tammy Wilkins, and I've been in recovery 3.5 years now. Prior to that date, I had about 25 years worth of IV drug use and 15 years of penitentiary time. So I've experienced an enormous amount of transition while I've been clean and sober. So we have a really extensive recovery network in downtown Portland, and when I left the penitentiary the last time, I entered a drug treatment program downtown Portland, and I started networking with a whole bunch of different resources that were available in order to make my transition successful. And I've experienced an enormous amount of success by just showing up and doing things and staying clean and sober first and foremost. So
what this event really does is three things. One, it shows the newcomers that there's a lot more to life than using drugs. It shows the public that we're good people, and it shows the children a fun time with their parents without the drugs and alcohol and arguing and fighting.
Oh, it's a feeling that comes up from inside, watching everybody's on their way, and some people, asking, what's going on? When are we going to do this? When's this going to happen? When do we have to hold hands and everything? And we say the Serenity Prayer and everything. He says, it will come. Have patience. I walk up along and hear everybody else talking, but as soon as I hear that first horn, oh, right, there it is. That's the kickoff right there. That's the start of it all. You get up there and say the Serenity Prayer, and just rejoice in that. It's all right. This is why I'm here. This is for another day of recovery. This can't be beat. Maybe tomorrow if I'm granted another day.